What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Stellar Lumens XLM today. It is the 13th day of December, and here we are with about 7 hours, 30 minutes left in the day, sitting here at just below 24 cents. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are. I want to start off by zooming into the 1 hour time frame, but first I just want to look real quick at the weekly time frame and the daily time frame, just get my bearings here. We are consolidating at the base. What I like here is that we do have higher lows with a kind of flat top. Like that's not a bad structure to have right there. Anyways, let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom back out, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Very choppy. Very, very choppy and rigid kind of price action, right? It's like you make your move and then you chill, and then you make your move and then you chill, right? That's basically what's been happening with Bitcoin. It's what we're seeing here as well. We look at the 1 hour RSI. And it does look bearish at the moment, but so does the price action, right? Lower highs, lower lows, all that stuff. From here, the fact that we rejected the 50, but then found support at the 40 and then made our way up, I would think that we continue to move higher from here. The stochastics are technically bullish at the moment, and the MACD also has bullish implications as well. So yeah, I think we do move up. Maybe we see a move like this, but to the upside. And maybe it takes us past these highs. Maybe we stop just below these highs or right at these highs, whatever it might be, but something higher from here. I wouldn't be surprised not only if we moved higher, but even if inevitably we moved lower, okay? Higher first. I think if we were to move lower, we would move higher first. But I am expecting, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily expecting lower prices to happen. But from here, after we make this move, we'll reevaluate, we'll reassess this thing and see, maybe we do come down. And even if we do, it's okay, right? You're in this little trend. It's okay. You can come back up with a vengeance in a matter of no time at all, just like we did back here. 1 hour time frame, RSI, stochastics, MACD, make me bullish for the time being. If we're looking at this on a 4 hour perspective, let's just imagine that we were to retrace like this high here from a high to a low. That would then imply what? Like something around 24.6 cents, 25.1 cents, maybe as high as 25.6 cents. Nothing too crazy to the upside from here. But we probably do, I would think we probably do move up and continue this flat top with descending low kind of structure. That's my assumption at the moment. Right, like this low point here that we're at right here, doesn't it look just like this low point here? Doesn't it look like just like this low point here? Like they look super similar. And all in the perfect line as well. We look at the 4 hour indicators. The RSI technically is bullish. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, bouncing off the 40. That's a good look, guys. That's not a bad look at all, actually. The stochastics are definitely bullish. And the the MACD, you have crossed below the zero, but you're kind of disrespecting the MACD. You're very choppy. I don't think the MACD matters. It looks bearish right now, but you looked bearish here, you're at your low. You looked bullish here, you're at your high. You looked bullish here, you just crossed the zeros, you're building bullish momentum, you're at your high. It's been very choppy, it's not reliable. I wouldn't weigh on it. The fact that it looks bearish might be a sign that we're actually moving up, right? Daily time frame, looking at this, the RSI is building up to this 50 level. Consistently finding resistance here, kind of bleeding out a little bit to the upside, spilling over. Higher lows coming in here. We definitely have some pressure building, and I think it's going to pop to the upside here soon enough. We're on the daily time frame. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but soon enough. I would think, it's the 13th now. I would think before the end of this next week, we're either back at prices that are above 26 cents, or by the end of this next week, we're outside of this zone entirely to the upside. We might be making our move that retraces this overall downward movement. We might be doing that next week. If not, I would expect sometime by the end of December this breaks out, probably to the upside. From a high to a low, your next destination, more or less, from here, would be the 382, which is at 30.3 cents, 30.29 cents, but we're going to call it 30.3. Typically with the 382, you don't reject it like this. Typically, you wick above and then you close below. So something kind of like what we did here, right? You wicked above and then you close below. Something like that. That's what I would expect. And then from there, we've got this kind of inverse head and shoulders look, don't we? We could kind of do that because it's very common to go from your 382 to your 236 up to your golden ratio. That's the common thing that we do there. So the call from here is not this, though that might work out exactly. It could be that we move up here, we come down, we even see lower lows. You never know. I don't think that we do. I think this is the low, but I've been wrong before. I can be wrong again. What I do feel confident in, and what I very much believe and I think is the right call to make, is that the next move up will take us to the 382. The next move will be a move up. From this area, we will not break out, I think, to the downside, but to the upside. And likely you don't stop at this level of 30.29 cents. You probably go just above there. So I would think 31 cents or higher is probably an outcome that we could expect, or at least something around 31 cents. And then from there, the expectation might be that we pull back. The expectation could be that we go higher. We'll have to look at the indicators whenever we get there. Depends on a few different things. But at that point, we haven't broken out of this downward sloping trend. But that becomes part of the discussion, right? The next, if we were to move higher, you probably would break out of this trend to some degree. A move up to the golden ratio certainly would break out of this lower high dynamic here. Whenever we do break out of this lower high dynamic, whenever this trend does shift to the upside, did we even look at our daily indicators? I think we did, but hold on. Yeah, the RSI is building up to the 50. Stochastics are weird, but that's what you get when you're choppy and sideways. And the MACD is probably less reliable too because of that, but it does have bullish implications. The weekly time frame, though, when we do break out of this downtrend, the expectation is wholeheartedly that we will go to new all-time highs. Yeah, that's the expectation. Likely from this point here, the all-time high, to the low of this consolidation range that you formed back in March of 2020, high to low here. The expectation is that we run all the way up XLM, probably around this $2.46 zone. If we were to stop anywhere below that level, which in my opinion would be surprising, but if we were to stop anywhere below that level, I would think that we could stop maybe around 220. Something like that. Maybe we do just miss this 1272 because of the 1414 here from the last cycle high to the bear market low. But I think something in this area of like 220, 245, 250, whatever, something like that. Maybe as high as 355 at the most. But already what we're talking about here, this kind of a movement, just understand, I'm expecting this movement to be robust. We've been consolidating now since last November for over a year. When we make this move, it will be robust. It'll be probably very similar to what we did here. Maybe not as fast directly, but still a very fast move. And if we're looking at XLM for what it is, right, here's your target area, whatever, right around here. Like $3.30 to $2, $2.20, whatever, right around here, right? That's your target area. If we look at XLM, this move is not common. Stuff like this doesn't happen. In fact, we haven't seen something like this at least since here, or maybe even all the way back here. It does happen, but it's very uncommon. We've been consolidating for a year. I don't know if necessarily we're going to see the same like 400% move in a 3-week period like we did last year, but that same type of move from here would take us to $1.61, not even above $2. So what I'm calling for is a move that is bigger than anything we've seen in multiple cycles, several cycles, and it's likely persistent. I don't know if it happens as fast as this, but it's likely persistent. We likely do continue to move up until we hit this 1272 area, whether it's 250, 260, just at this line, just above it, or just below it. I think we will see that, and we should see this sometime in Q1, I would assume, right? Probably mid Q1, maybe late Q1. But when it happens, that's the expectation. And the reason isn't that we've been consolidating here for a year. We've been consolidating here for a year, so now we deserve a move that's bigger than this move. That's not it. The reality is we've been consolidating for years, for multiple cycles within this triangle. We've been consolidating for several cycles now, both bear markets and bull markets alike. And then you're consolidating here right at the top of this area for the last year specifically. It's like you're charged up and now you're supercharged here. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if this next movement was bigger than this movement here. Again, though, I don't think it'll be as fast. I think it'll take more. Where this took 3 to 5 weeks to form, this might take 3 months to fully produce its outcome, right? And the outcome should be something well above $2, $2.20 to $2.50. I've got nothing else. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.